Hey guys, Double Wide 6, and those of you that subscribe to my channel, you know I fix just about anything. So today what I'm working on is 4 of the Bunn Ultra 2 slushy machines. The issue with most of these machines is that they stop running. So I'm going to show you how to fix one that one side won't run. These machines are commercial units and they cost about 2,400 bucks. So they're definitely worth fixing, especially if you can do it yourself. This is the unit that we're working on, and this is all smart logic on these. And what happens on this one is it says something like torque spring sensor is the issue, and then the right side won't cool down and make ice. So we know the refrigeration is working because it has one cooling unit that it uses for both. The left side works fine, it's just the right side, you get that error and then it won't chill the drum. So what you need to do to fix this is you need to get to that torque sensor. It's on the back of the unit. On the back of the unit there's 2 screws, and if you remove those 2 screws you can see your drum motor. Now the biggest problem with these machines is that there's kids working at places that have these. They spill all kinds of syrup and stuff, and it ends up leaking down and causing a problem. So if you would just do the maintenance on these, they will work pretty well for you. They're commercial units built to last. Now on here, on this drum motor, you can see there's a capacitor that they have mounted here, and then there's 3 other screws. So I've removed 3 of them. The 4th screw's right there, so we'll take that out. When you remove the plastic, you want to grab it from the bottom and just kind of pull out. At first I was grabbing the top. It doesn't work that way. There's 2 little clips on the bottom here. So if you grab from the bottom, it'll come out nice and easy. You want to remove the tank or the hopper, the auger, everything, so that the drum is stripped down, including the rubber gasket that's on there. And I have all the screws out, so I just unplugged the motor clip right here, and this whole assembly should slide right out. There you can see it, and you'll notice, I don't know, well, the light's showing it, but there's syrup on here, and that syrup is, like I said, from kids spilling stuff. It's kind of a hot mess. So we'll pull that motor out. If you need a new motor, that's how you put in a new one. Parts are pretty expensive for these. If we look through here, you'll see that there's some syrup in there. I'll show you how I clear that out. But this right here, this board, this is your sensor, okay? And you want to make sure that these are both pointing directly forward, and I'll explain how they work in a minute, but I'll show you how to remove it. All you have to do is pull out this washer and screw, but you want to make sure that you don't drop it, because it'll go all the way down here. I know from experience. So if you drop it, you're going to need to either pull off the side panel, which there's 2 screws under here, 1/4-inch hex, and this should pop out, or you get a long magnet and you can get it. But the screws are actually stainless steel. I don't know, I was able to get mine out because there's so much syrup in the bottom that the magnet just stuck to it. So I'm gonna cup my hand and pull this out. So this is the drum motor, and you see these 2 pins on here. I believe these pins hold a torsion spring, and this sensor has something to do with telling how much pressure is on the spring. So if your ice is like too thick or too hard, you're going to end up breaking your auger. So that's what the sensor's for. It'll shut the machine down, and the machine won't work if this thing gets dirty. So we're going to clean this board, and we're going to clean this up, and then basically reinstall it, and everything should be good to go. So all we have to do to clean this up is wet a toothbrush. This one happens to be my mother's. So we'll wet that, and we'll clean up the board a little bit. Just get those sensors clean. These don't look too bad, but one other thing about the sensors is they can get hit and bent. They bend easy. And you want to make sure that they're nice and straight, 90 degrees from the board, or that can throw them off as well. So once you have them nice and clean, see how there's a little syrup on the back of the board there on that pin? It just kind of collected there. We want to clean that off. Now that's something that, if it's causing an electrical problem from resistance, you could resolder that. So that's something to look at. The sensors are clear, so you should be able to see all the internal parts. And that's glue that's holding them in place. So I'll show you how I clean this thing out. So I'm going to clean out the syrup in there, and to do that I'm using this little tool. So this will grab onto a wet paper towel, and then you just take that and you run it through here a couple times, and that should get off most of the syrup. I'll put a link down below to one of these tools, and also the circuit board if you need to replace your circuit board. So I cleaned up this auger shaft, and now I'm just putting a little bit of Vaseline on the wear surfaces. There's a seal on this side. You want to make sure that's in good shape. It's right here. You could put a little bit of Vaseline on that as well. And all we have to do now is just carefully slide this guy in here, just like that, and reattach the screws along with the capacitor and plug the plug back in. So guys, if you have an investment in these machines, you want to also invest your time in a little bit of maintenance. I would say about every 2 to 3 months. First thing you want to do is make sure you have a filter on the back. This is missing the filter. And then you want to keep these cooling coils all cleaned out. This was filled with dust. You can blow it out with compressed air, or you could use like a degreaser on it and a spray bottle, and then, or you can vacuum it, depending what you have. But if you do something, it's going to help out for sure. So I'll show you the inside of one of these. I think I have one apart in the other shop. So here's what it looks like inside. You have a fan. One of his units, the bracket on the fan came loose. A screw backed out on here. It was really hard to get out, but I was able to get it out, and I did find the screw on the inside, so I Loctited that in. There's a transformer here. 120 to probably like a 24 volt. So you want to make sure that these go bad. So if your transformer's knocked out, you're not getting power out secondary side, that could be something. There's a large capacitor here that I believe starts the compressor, so that could go as well. There's probably also a small capacitor on the fan motor, and we'll check the other side. There's also a little 5 amp reset fuse here. If that pops, you'll lose power. There's a capacitor on the auger motor as well. These machines are serviceable, so you could have Freon added, but as I said, they're smart machines, so if you need Freon, it's probably going to tell you on here. And there's 2 solenoids. The solenoids control the refrigerant to, I believe, each side of the unit. So pretty simple units to work on, and unless you take one of these apart, if you don't do it, you just don't know. So yeah, I went ahead and this guy asked me to take a look at these, brought over 4 machines, and I was able to fix all of them, and he gave me a machine. So now I have a slushy machine, which actually seems like a lot of work. So anyhow, guys, I'm Double Wide 6. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. A little bit different, but think about subscribing and check out the links to this video down below. Take care.